Hey there, friends and family, welcome back. You're here with Francisco. Today I just want to go through, show you what I got going on as an alternative power supply for my Bluetti Elite 100 that I have. I primarily use this to power up my fridge and Starlink every once in a while, maybe something additional to it. I think this is going to be my primary source of power for any and all my devices that I'm currently running. I don't take too much. For the most part, if I'm using cameras and stuff like that, they're pretty small. The DJI Action 6 does not take much power. I can easily charge that from whatever auxiliary supply that the Jeep already has. This again is going to be mainly to power up my fridge and Starlink when I need it. And for the most part, it'll last me a couple days, but the problem usually comes if I'm stationary at camp. So if we go to a campsite and we decide that we just want to take a 0 day there and stay multiple nights and not run in the trails, is going to be when I'm start to run low on this. If we're on the constant move, we're usually okay. And that's because currently I rigged this up right here. I got basically the DC outlet charger right here, and I'll kind of daisy chain it into the Bluetti. But the big problem that I have with this is that it only comes in at 100 watts at a time. So it's kind of like a very slow trickle charge. So what I ended up picking up on Prime Day, they were having a sale on it. And I know there is like an updated version of this. I went ahead and got the Bluetti Charge 1. And honestly, it is gonna be plenty of power for what I need at this current time. I'm gonna go ahead and try this. If for some crazy reason need the Charge 2, we'll cross that road when it comes to it. But I think this is gonna be plenty right now. It'll pull about 500 watts at a time. So it charges, I think, like 5 times faster than what I get from my regular DC charger coming from the Jeep Gladiator. It was on sale and it is a lot easier setup to go ahead and install. I think there's definitely a bit more of a process if you want to do the Bluetti Charge 2. The Bluetti Charge 1, it seems like it's just a plug and play. I have ran my wires all the way through here. I'll show you what I got going on. It seems like the easiest way to route this was to come in through the firewall. So I got them here, kind of ready to connect to the battery. Zip tied up over there and out of the way. Hopefully there's no heating issues or disturbance to anything. The wire that it comes with is very heavy duty, really nice gauged, and it has this sheath right here that's really protective. I was looking for a garment that apparently you can pop off right here. I was seeing some videos of it, and it kind of, you can just either peel it back or it kind of like a little quarter turn and it should pop off. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. You can kind of see the light coming through right now, but mine didn't even have it. So I'm gonna have to find something to go ahead and put back in there, so that way I don't get excessive dust in there. But yeah, it was kind of weird that it didn't have it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and find something. I think I've seen a couple other videos, and when I do find it, I'll try to link them or show you guys for sure. Some like little rubber garments that you can kind of just push through and they'll sit there. Once I get everything installed, it'll be easy enough to disconnect it from the battery, run the garment through, and be able to put everything back together. So anywho, yeah, I fed it through, coming in through there, and then I fed it through the back of this right here. So this little panel right here is where you would take it off to get access. This is your harness to remove your doors. Go ahead and remove that, and then this right here is just a 10 mil that you'll go ahead and remove, and then you can kind of pry this back. Just keep in mind that this also right here kind of needs to be pried off at the same time, because it's kind of gripping the screw that's stationary there. So you'll kind of need to do that also, and then you'll be able to pull it back. And it's just clips right here throughout along this that end up just, you can grab it from the underneath right here and pop them out, kind of like you pop your little bottom of your dash here. It's the same concept right here. It's just clips that eventually you just pop back in. I was able to feed my wire all the way through, all the way back there. I kind of just will lift up and tuck it under. It went in nice and easy. I put up my floor mat right here, and the same thing. I just ran it underneath here, kept tucking it in, and then it's just coming out right here. I think it's gonna go right here. Maybe secure it so that it stays right here, nice and out of the way, because I do have my seat delete right here. I ended up taking it off for now. That way I have plenty of room to do whatever I need to do here. But yeah, I want to say I'm gonna try to mount it right here. That way when I have it covered up, I can still have access to it if I need to. And also there is a little fan in there that keeps it cool when it's charging. I want it to have some flow, so that way it's not restricted from air. It doesn't, you know, suffocate or anything like that, and it's able to cool down as needed. Everything just comes together real easy. We have these wires that are going to go in here. You cannot get them wrong, so the input will go in there, and then it does come with these ones, which comes with the Bluetti Charge 1, and it'll connect to your solar charger, or that should come with your Elite 100 or whatever generator that you have. That will just plug in over to this side, and it will plug into these right here. And this came together with my Bluetti. So when I had ordered it originally, it came with these. I honestly didn't even know what this was, and I read that it was for solar panels. But now that they came out, or when they did come out with the Bluetti Charge 1, everyone was able to connect to this. So that was pretty cool. And then that's what it basically is going to be using from now on to go ahead and charge. Because typically when I put in my Bluetti, I kind of have it sitting right here anyways, so it'll have plenty of slack for me to go ahead and place it to charge here. I ended up cutting little holes right there too, so that way I can go ahead and tie it down just in case, you know, for some crazy reason we do have a rollover. It's just not flopping all over the cab. And then over here, I think I'm gonna maybe do some little pilot holes in there, and then maybe zip tie this right here. That way I also have easy access to the breaker in case I need it. Pretty straightforward install. There's really nothing to it. I did want to show you all this part right here. I was kind of guesstimating on how to pop this off, and it was just this 10 mil. That little piece right there, you got to pop it off, and then yeah, you're able to feed it all through. So we'll go ahead and put our harness back together with our safety strap right there, and cover it back up, and we should be good to go. So this is what I'm working with currently. We got the breaker secured onto the side right here, so that way I can just flip it on and off if need to. Not too bad there. And then I was able to tuck in my wire and secure the Bluetti Charge 1 here. And I used the self-tapping screws that it comes with. It's doing a pretty good job. I put 2 on top. I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not, but 2 on the bottom also, and it's holding on very well. It also comes with the Allen key necessary for you to go ahead and either to loosen or tighten up the input power supply. And it's the same one right here for your output wires. So I'll go ahead and store that somewhere where we can find it easily. I think I like it there. It's not too bad. For some reason, I need to put my seat back in right here. I think people will still have room to kind of have some leg room right here. That should work out perfectly good. So before I put my seat delete plate back, I'm gonna go ahead and connect the power supply here and see what it does. Hopefully we have some luck and I did this correctly. I think it should be easy enough to put the power supply. I'm gonna put it on here, on this one right here. It's a 12 mil, and then this one right here is a 13 mil that I'm gonna go ahead and put the negative on. Let's see what it does. Alrighty, let's see what that does. So we got the power on. We're gonna go ahead and flip it on. And it's currently doing nothing, which is a good thing because it's supposed to know when your vehicle is on, and it's only supposed to use power that your alternator is not using for your battery charging or whatever the case is. It's supposed to be like a little smart unit that's supposed to detect basically accessible or excess power that your alternator and battery are no longer using, and that's what it uses to charge up. Let's fire it up. Oh, there it is. So starting up when it's blinking rapidly, and what we're looking for is a steady green, and that means we are in the clear, ready to charge. And I believe we've done it. And yeah, I'm just going by what it says on the instructions. Pretty much you just don't want any of these red flashing lights, because it'll tell you if you have an overcurrent, if there's a short circuit, under voltage or something like that. So that's pretty cool that it lets you know itself. I'm gonna connect the Bluetti to my old way I used to do it and show you the input on that, how much power we're getting into it, how fast it's charging, and then we'll connect it together over to the Charge 1 and see what it does. This is how I had it before. Basically, I would put it in the DC charger, the cigarette lighter, kind of daisy chain it right here, and then connect it into the Bluetti, just like so. And it should start charging. It varies from like, I've seen like 106 maybe to like 90 watts at a time. Hey, we hit 107. Look at that. Turn this off. That's honestly the highest I've seen it so far. It's at 90% right now. It would take 1.1 hours to fully charge at 107 watts coming in. It's not a bad deal, I guess, as long as we're like moving, doing like an overland style trip or something like that where we're gonna be running pretty much all day. I would go ahead and get a decent charge on this by the time we get to camp or find camp, so that's not a bad thing. I just wanted something a little bit better on charge wise, that way in case we go ahead and just set up like a base camp, we'll be fine to just go ahead and start the Gladiator up and be able to get a faster charge. I think what we're going to go ahead and do next is I'll go ahead and plug in these guys over into the Charge 1. So it should be simple enough to just plug these in, connect this guy right here, which is the same plug, into the Bluetti. And actually, before we continue to go ahead and connect it to the Charge 1, you can from the app. I have heard that it'll automatically do this for you, but just in case it doesn't, we're gonna go ahead and change the settings on this so that it communicates correctly and puts out the correct voltage for the Bluetti Elite 100. And it's pretty cool that it does this because it doesn't need to be a Bluetti. It can be like a Jackery, Anchor, whatever other model of generator you have. Just check the compatibility with it and you should be fine. So we'll go to charging voltage. It'll tell you to make sure to disconnect it just in case you're still connected. Agreed. Select the model. And it is Elite V200, so 56.0 voltage. Next. Okay, that was a success. And then you'll see that it does talk with the EL100 V2. I don't know why. Sometimes it does that on the app. It just will not communicate properly with it. I'll have to completely back out of the app. Come on. Ah, dummy. That's because it's not on. Alrighty. There you go. Turn it back on and boom. And there you go. It is currently talking to the Elite 100. It's at 90%. And you can't really get these mixed up either. It only goes in to one or the other. Red with red. And you hear a nice clicking. I'm going to go ahead, pop her in. Oh, check that out. 550. It's in the 60s now. 70. Not too bad. And it shows you on the app also. So basically now estimated charge time is 6 minutes. Not too bad. It seems like it's hovering at 575. So boom, I think we got a win. And then you can see the blinking light basically indicating that it's currently charging. If it was a steady green light, then that means the charging would be complete. Yeah, this is awesome. This is going to be very helpful at camp for sure. I'm pretty happy with the results. I got my little delete back in. Enough room to switch the breaker on and off. Plenty of room right there for it to breathe, have some ventilation through. That way it doesn't heat up. For the most part, this is about as much as I keep in here. I usually put my little Starlink case in here also, but it is fairly thin and I think I can manage to go ahead and squeeze it in. And then I have access to the wires right here. Not a bad deal on the installation part. Again, I felt like that was just super smooth. It was simple, plug and play unit, not too bad. We're gonna go ahead and test it out this coming weekend. We got some camping to do, nothing crazy off the grid or anything like that. We're actually gonna go to a nice lake. Hopefully it's a good time and we get to just kind of chill and hang out on the water, but we will be taking the Gladiator. We'll be setting it up as if we were gonna go ahead and do some like overlanding or something like that, the fridge and everything like that. See how much juice the Elite pulls and then how fast we can go ahead and charge it back up but I'll definitely let you guys know on that end also. And like with anything else, if there's ever some issues and concerns or anything, I will definitely let you know. It has been a few days since installing the Charger 1. Currently, I am on my way to work. Tonight is Thursday night, and we are going to be packing up, getting ready for camp. We are heading out tomorrow morning, and we're just going to be gone for the weekend. I am currently charging the Bluetti, so it's sitting back there, plugged in to the Charge 1. Currently I'm at 60% and it's charging at 575 watts. It's kind of like where it's been stabilizing at. I have about a 40-minute drive. We'll check up and see where it's at when I get to work. I'm assuming saying right now it's 41 minutes estimated charge till full. I think it should be topped off, and then we'll go ahead and once we get back home, you have the fridge pre-chilling, and we're going to be connecting to that, and then we'll go ahead and also monitor it during camp, see how far it drops, and if it's going to be plenty of juice or enough for me to just turn it on and give it a nice little zap to be able to charge us up and be able to be fine throughout the whole weekend. Because yeah, we're not going to be moving once we park tomorrow. I think we're planning on being there fairly early. I don't think we're going to be moving the Gladiator much anymore, so it's not like we're going to be out trail riding or anything like that. So it's going to be a good test to see if this is going to be working out in a situation where we're just setting up base camp and hanging out for the weekend. We made it to work, and sure enough, we are topped off, and it is currently pulling 0 watts in at 100%. Still at stable green down there. I'm assuming once I turn the Jeep off for a little bit, it will just shut off. Plenty of ventilation. Honestly, it's a little warm, but not hot. I think it's a good thing that we got some ventilation in there. That way, when it's super hot in here, it doesn't get overheated. Unusual weather we're having out here in California, especially for the Central Valley. It's usually unlike this. I'm like in shorts and sandals. We just got back from our little camping trip. I didn't really record any of this. This was kind of just some family time, and honestly there wasn't too much about it. Again, it was the Acorn Campgrounds in Spring Valley, California. It's just New Hogan Lake, and not a bad area. It was a good and relaxing time for us. It was very hot also, so this is pretty weird that it is just raining now. I just kind of want to wrap up the video about the Bluetti Charge 1. And this is how I usually have my setup right here. I tie it down with those holes I made into my little tub right here. It is doubled walled, so just keep that in mind. You'll have to go through 2 layers, so it is nice and thick, thankfully. Here is my Bluetti Elite 100. My fridge is tied up right there. It stayed inside the truck for the whole time, and it kept it nice and cool. There was no problem charging it back up. I had to charge it once, and it was about an hour's worth of charge to completely charge it back up to 100%, and it was nice and topped off. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was perfectly fine with just the 1 charge. I think it's a win for us. That's it for this video. I hope everyone is having a great time, staying cool out there. Until the next video, take it easy out there. Peace.